Hello, good. It's moved over to afternoon, so good afternoon to you. I bring greetings from Parliament and Cape Town. I arrived this morning. I'm a high flyer. It's very nice to be here. And what I will try to impart on you today is our journey as a small business, doing things slightly differently to how normal small businesses operate. How that translates into how do we skill people up to be able to do that is a conversation for another day. How do we get people to understand how this can be replicated is a conversation for another day. I will try as we go along to give some suggestions as to possibly what skilled me up to be able to do this. But as I say, I'll just impart our experience, what we are currently doing, and it will be a learning experience for myself as well. How long do we have? Fine. Okay. So I'm the CEO of a business called Virtual Actuary. I'm not an actuary. My skills are different. A lot of my skills are in sales, but this is more about the business as a whole. I'm definitely not trying to push for business today, just explain how we operate. Our business is an actuarial consultancy. So we have actuaries that consult. Most of them are full-time, if not 90% of them are full-time. They are outsourced contractors. They are not full-time employees. We operate what is known as an organized collaborative of contractors. So the first thing to say is that our business does not hire and fire. Rather, we have independent actuaries that work together. It is an organized collaborative business model. We are their only source of income, but they are commission earning contractors that I pay at the end of each month. Okay, so this is the structure of the business. We have 6 different departments: life insurance, general insurance, banking, healthcare, pensions, and investments. We also have a data science team. This just gives a bit of a mind map as to the type of work that we do. Within all of these sectors, we have the different breakdowns: product development, pricing, valuations, pensions reviews, healthcare, clinical risk. It's quite broad, so I'm not going to go into that specifically today. So, how did this all come together? So, I think the collaborative word is a very good word. My skill set was sales, operational, admin type stuff. How does a back office work in a business? Someone has to do the admin. Someone has to do the HR. I am that guy. And so what I brought to the table, can the mic go up a little bit? What I brought to the table was I spent the last 10 years working as a recruiter of actuaries. So where this all started was a network of actuaries. What does one do with a network of actuaries? So I think potentially a good starting point for anybody going into any sector is learn to network. What does it mean to network? What types of websites? I think the term social media is a terrible term. It is me representing myself in the outside world. That is an excellent skill set. How do you network yourself on the internet, online? That's a great starting point for anybody looking to be somebody in this world. What you cannot do is get a job and work in that job and go home and not be connected to the outside world. Because if that is the case, if you lose your job, who's going to help you? You're going to need to go through government institutions. You're going to need to try and find a job. These days, you don't try to find a job. You tap into your network to make something for yourself. So that's probably the first skill set is I worked as a recruiter of actuaries, and I brought the business together. Okay, we'll move on. Our business is different to a normal consultancy. Now, the companies that we pitch for the same work as the big consultancies. The big four consultancies is other smaller boutique type businesses. What makes us different to them is we decided as a new age business, we were going to open as a lean business. So what does that mean? So the whole mindset is not, I want to start a business, I need an investor, I need money, I need to pay salaries. That's an old way of thinking about things. We opened as a lean business, so what that meant was, okay, what do we need to get our first paying client? We don't need office space because we're a services business, so our actuaries will work inside the client's office. Okay, great, we don't need the office space. That's a great starting point as a mindset. So I'll try not to go too much into the lessons because it's confusing me, but I'll just talk a little bit about our business. So we're a lean business, we don't have office space. So what that means compared to our competitors, we can offer the same actuary to our clients who are the big insurers, the big reinsurers, the big banks, the big pension funds, etc., the big investment houses, for less than half the price per hour. That's a great starting point. Why? We don't have the office space, we don't have the expenses, we're a lean business. When we fly, we don't fly business class, the big shot. The whole understanding is we need to service our clients with the same quality of service as everybody else at a reduced rate. So we're a lean business. We also don't have lavish parties. We also don't have branding and corporate gifting and people coming to our office to water the plant. So everything about when we need a documentation to go to market. So another skill set could be, if you're looking to open a business, where do you get the documentation from? You need to be internet savvy in how to search on Google for templates that pertain to your industry. So we needed terms of business for an actuarial business. So instead of getting a law firm to do it completely from scratch, it would have cost 250,000 Rand. We went online, we found a template, it was pretty good, and we tweaked the template. That is a resourceful skill set to have in the fourth industrial revolution where information is at your fingertips. So we're a lean business, everything we do is lean. Okay, we'll move on. So if we had to relate this to the fourth industrial revolution, which is kind of where we're at the moment, the fourth industrial revolution pretty much just means, in my opinion, that the man or the woman on the street can be a business in and of themselves, and they have the resources available that are available to all the big corporates. This was never the case, okay? So one of the things is information at your fingertips, okay? Thus, the terms of business and the contracts that we got online and so on. The second thing that fits into that is the business model itself. So this is our business model. Instead of, so you've got the big corporates, and in the big corporates, generally how it works is you have money in the bank that pays for everything. The business brings in money, and then everybody that works in the business is on a salary. That's normally how it works. There's bonuses, people chase their targets to hit their bonuses. That's how normal corporate works. If people had to break away and open a small boutique type business, like a small consultancy like ours, their default would be they need office space, they need to hire people, they need to pay those salaries, they need an investor, they need to do a big budget. The budget, you know, okay, so if I want to put the money in, here's 2 million Rand, 3 million Rand, I want 50%, you have what they call a runway for your expenses. That's normally how any business operates. Normal, small boutique corporates. That's not our business. Our business is an organized collaborative, so this is how it works. It's a shared economy. So we brought together 20 actuaries initially, and the concept was, you can do life insurance, and you can do life insurance, and you can do life insurance, you can do general insurance, and you can do general insurance, you can do pensions, it's not bad, you can do banking, and you can do banking. Okay, guys, we've got a business on our hands. But you are independent actuaries that are servicing clients anyway. Okay, so let's form an organized collaborative business model. What does that mean? So it means that the business itself forms the shell of the organization, and we will then go together to get clients. The business will do the marketing, the business will do the terms of business and the contracts and all that stuff. You are the professionals. When we get work and the clients pay at the end of the month, the business will only take a small portion, and those that worked on the project will get over 82 to 90% of the money. That's a great deal if you're a business professional. So we formed an organized collaborative. So what we did is, compared to the other small consultancies or big consultancies, we turned the earnings table upside down. The business takes a small portion, and those that work on the projects take over 82 to 90% of the money. So imagine you started one of the big four consultancies. Imagine how much money would actually be going to those that work in the business, not the original founders. So we've done that. So that's how our organized collaborative works. Okay, that's a new type of business model where we work together for the sake of the collaborative. Okay, that's the business model. It's a little bit more complicated. We'll see how much time we've got, and I'll go into why that's useful for an independent. So this is kind of also how it works. I was just talking a little bit about the 82% that gets distributed, and I will bring an actuary that will work underneath an independent, and they can grow themselves as a team, they can scale themselves, but we'll go into that a bit later. Okay, this just says that our business is not a brokerage business. So if you're thinking, okay, well, I understand what these guys do, they're just a recruitment business, they're a contractor's business. Not really. We are involved in the whole process. So let's say Sunlam would like to launch some products in Singapore, but their head of products or two of their senior managers have just gone away. So what happens is we come in as what we call a flash team, a consultancy. We come in as a consultancy, but we can handle the whole project, the pricing, the product development, the marketing material. When it comes to the solvency and the regulatory part of that project, if we were working as a contractor's business, we would never be able to take on the whole project. That's why we're a big turnkey consultancy. We're just an organized collaborative of independent actuaries that all work together to be able to work together. How do we work together? I'll show you. Okay, so at the moment we're globalizing. So another skill set, in order to take, let's say you make the best fish paste in the world. You don't just want to sell it in South Africa. You want to sell it globally. How do you distribute the fish paste? Well, if you had an eBay shop, you were able to package it in South Africa. You could distribute the best fish paste in the world on eBay. So being able to understand how a e-commerce website works, how the payment system works, is an outstanding skill set for anybody looking to go into any industry. So I'm just saying, so we're globalizing, and LinkedIn is one of the programs that's helping us to get our brand out there. As a result of LinkedIn, I actually got invited to speak in the USA in January at an Actuary conference. It was very successful. Okay, so when we talk about new age working, the old way of doing things, and it's still kind of still there, is people go into an office, they sit in traffic, and they work in a cubicle, and they go home. They sit in traffic and they go home. Our business is more so about actuaries and data scientists working from home digitally. We'll move into virtual and augmented reality. Okay? So this just shows us that actuaries and business professionals have spent many, many years studying at institutions like WITS. They could have done anything. They could have been game rangers. They could have done a lot of things. But what has become of society is that they land up sitting in traffic and working in big offices. Almost like a prison. So we're saying that that whole mindset is wrong. So we use technology to be able to plug our actuaries into the boardrooms, to the workflow, so that they can work more so from home and in comfort. That's what the slide is about. We use technology. So what kind of technology am I talking about? So one of the skill sets that is critical, in my opinion, for people to understand in how to be a professional in this world is, how do apps work? How do you load an app on your phone? How do you load an app onto your computer? Because we use a program called Zoom, which is like Skype. What it does is, imagine we had somebody that was, wet behind the ears, no experience. We were willing to welcome them into our business as a youngster. But she didn't know, she had a laptop, she had internet access. And I said, okay, come, you can join us in the meeting. We're doing a training session. We use Zoom. Okay, how do I get Zoom? How do I load Zoom onto my computer? How do I download it? How do I get it onto my phone? But if they know how to do that, then we can send them the link. They can plug into the meeting. They're a professional in the fourth industrial revolution. They are connected to our business because they know how to connect. So these programs like Zoom, you can record it. You need to know how to operate a camera. You need to know how to operate cameras. Because what's going to happen is, and I've brought two because they keep on bombing out on me, is I'm going to take the footage and I'm going to put it onto my computer and I'm going to save it as a video and I'm going to put it on LinkedIn and I'm going to say, it was so wonderful to be here, this is what we're involved in, and I'm going to use online marketing to improve our brand as a business. You don't see an advertising agency anywhere in the room. You don't see a R1 million budget on how to brand your product campaign. Just a simple guy who runs a business, running his own production company. Very good skill set to have. Okay. So this is a program called Slack. What this program does, it allows our actuaries to not have chain emails. What Slack does is it's like a WhatsApp group chat, but it's more professional and it's free. We didn't have to develop this ourselves. We just had to know how to load it onto our phones and onto our computers. You can see we've got the client groups on the left. We've got the main window in the middle. You can see all the people that are involved. This is quite old, we're only 55 members, we've got a lot more now. But Slack allows us as a team to interact together about the clients, strategy. We're not sharing confidential information. This allows us to communicate as a team that's not sitting in a room or sitting around having lunch. Outstanding. Where things are going is, in 10 years' time, we're not going to be stuck on the Empire Terminal. Because as much as it took me 20 minutes to come off that turn ramp, in 10 years' time it will take 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So things are going virtual, things are going digital, the work from anywhere is going to be happening. This gentleman agrees. He's from the Shark Tank. That is a show in America that talks about up and coming businesses, what makes them successful. This next video that probably won't have any audio, but we'll see, is a futurist called Gary Vee. Very practical gentleman who talks about what's coming next. Larry King asks him, what industry is about to explode? And his answer, well, I won't spoil it, but if the video works and you'll hear him say it, and if not, then I'll tell us. Okay, it doesn't look like the audio is working. Ah.
What industry is on the verge of exploding?
Virtual reality. And let me say this now, because I think you're going to get a kick out of this, because if you think, oh, Jesus, crazy, let me tell you what I'm about to tell you. 12 years from today, when we're doing this interview, as we're going to have a long relationship, as you said, we're going to be doing it, it's going to feel like it's happening just like right now, except one day, we're both going to be sitting at home.
He says, in 12 years we'll be conducting this interview and we'll both be sitting at home. Choice words. Quick story. A little bit about who is on the field at the moment. Who are your competitors as a business? What is the mindset? Okay? Quick story, I'll be very quick. When they climbed Kilimanjaro for the first time, they had their Sherpas, they had the people that carried all the food, they had the people with the oxygen masks. When they got to the top, they had achieved something that had never been done before. Amazing! Hey, can you believe the feat? They got to the top of the mountain. And what did they find at the top of the mountain? Somebody running towards them. What? A little boy. Hey, what are you doing here? They said. He's like, hey guys, what are you doing here? He said, how did you get to the top of this mountain? No gas mask, nothing. And you know what he said to them? I grew up on this mountain. My parents live halfway up. No shoes, in the snow. The people that are competing these days for the prize are the youngsters that grew up in this era. Completely different set of competitors. A little bit different. He got frostbite, that little kid, by the way. He lost a few toes. Because he didn't have the experience to put shoes on, so he was reckless. So that's what experience will bring you as well. Don't forget how to stay safe. But don't be overly cautious as well, or you'll move nowhere. The mindset of the new age worker is that they want everything right here, right now. You know, I went to a conference somewhere in Johannesburg at the Dome, and it was a learning conference for students. Do you know what they wanted? Do you know what got them to my talk? Are they giving away prizes? Hats, prizes. That's what they wanted. They wanted prizes. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but they weren't there for the learning. They were there for the prizes. You know, things these days are instant. You know, you've got people sitting in the office. It's not so easy to get people to learn. You know, you would think, I'm giving you your future. Look at this. Motivate, take it, free education, just learn. Yeah, here's a laptop, take it. It's not what interests them. What might interest them is maybe a free course for their brother and sister as well, in any subject that they want. That might motivate them to stay. Because now they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about their brother and sister. So the mindset of the new age worker is that they don't want to work at all. You know, they're sitting on Facebook, they're on Instagram. They don't want to be sitting in an office, they don't want to be working, they want to be Instagram stars. So you need to just accept that and understand that. And try and teach them through Instagram. You know, maybe work with an influencer and say, you're an influencer. So you're not a perfect example of a business professional, but you are an influencer. Now, stay away from the hip hop guys. Those people are poison. They're not good influencers. There's other influencers, people that do food, you know, people that maybe make arts and crafts. There's different types of influencers besides these like hardcore gangster rappers. You know, it's poison. They might tell you that they're not, but they are, in my opinion. Okay, so this is LinkedIn. As you can see, a wonderful skill set to teach people to be able to compete in the business world is that it is unacceptable not to look like $1 million in the business world. It is unacceptable. You have to be able to, at least as a starting point, present yourself well. Learn how to have a good photo taken. It can't look sexy, because if it looks sexy, you are throwing your career away. So it's really about the ethics of the business world, the ethics of the business world, and how to present yourself to get a good job. The reason you can't get a job is because you don't look like you put any makeup on when you took your photo. And I'm not saying that you have to put on makeup. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that's your one picture. It's your one picture. So fake it till you make it. Just make it look good. If you get the job, don't wear the makeup. Then get into your comfort zone. So it's not about, this is who I am, I want to be free, so it's really about corporate professionalism, critical in getting people to understand how to make it in this world. This is what some of the wonderful people are saying on LinkedIn about our business, and I'll say that in 18 months since we opened, we are billing revenue only in South Africa. I'm not even talking about overseas where we just started billing in dollars. Only in South Africa, 4 million rand a month revenue. That's not bad. You know, we've been finalists in all the business awards. That's actually why I'm in Johannesburg. There's a small business awards tomorrow morning, and at the Barnard Theatre, I think, Empress Palace, and we are finalists for Startup of the Year and Entrepreneur of the Year. We've been Entrepreneur of the Year and Startup of the Year finalists in some other major competitions, and we seem to be doing nicely. Not that that makes me an authority, I just thought I'd ring my own bell. Okay, so flash teams. So as a business manager, if your mindset in building your department is, I need to hire 2 or 3 people, we need to go through the HR process because we need people at the office, full-time employees to operate, that's going to take months and months and months. So the mindset is, can I tap into a different type of workforce? Our workforce is a flash team workforce. Any consultancy in this world is a flash team workforce. Any consultancy. Even though most of our projects are 6 months, 1 year, 3 months, just keep on rolling over. So 1 year projects, 45 actuaries working full time and data scientists, if not more, if I had to really count it. The reality is we're actually a flash team. Because if they come to us and they say, oh, new CEO, we need to find 250 million rand to pay for him. Everything's on hold. Everything. Project stop. They switch us off like a tap. I have to accept that. We're a flash team. However, flash teams are also very, very useful if you need companies to come in, do the project for a few months, and move on. So flash teams and the organized collaborative. Now, the term flash teams actually comes right now, and I'll finish off very soon, from a Stanford University study, a thesis that's ongoing. It talks about if you want to, this is what is known as the gig economy. The gig economy is, I need a designer, I need a car mechanic, I need an Uber. That's the gig economy. Okay? So there's websites that allow you to find people in the gig economy. So we're a gig economy type business, but we're actually part of what is known as the talent economy. So it's business professionals that work in the gig economy, but flash teams are apps and websites and platforms like we're building at the moment that allow the clients to find us digitally, build a big team digitally, the work starts, and the flash team molds, expands and retracts as the project as the project moves forward. That's what a flash team is. You bring them in, they do the work, and it kind of tapers off eventually, then the next project starts. So here, as you can see, his father McNally was doing confession. His beeper went off, his WhatsApp went off, and he needed to shoot off as a virtual actuary. But he will be back. Okay. So this is the last slide. And as I say, how one implements what we've done and working more digitally, because what we've actually done is when a client wants to see us as a consultancy, we'll see them often, but quite often we say, hold on a second, can we do the discussion digitally? So we use technology, as you've seen. We have a different type of business model. We pay our actuaries more. We don't have the expenses. In my opinion, all of that collectively adds up to, in my opinion, what is known as the disruption of the consulting world. So we are disruptors. It's a big problem for some of our competitors who can't just turn the ship around. So if we look at examples of disruption, Uber's a great example, Airbnb, they've taken hotels and reservations and they've made it more affordable and put it into the hands of homeowners. Another industry that was disrupted was windsurfing. So windsurfing was the most extreme sport that you could do with waves, wind and water. Big board, big sail, big pole, outstanding. But they did not make a bigger board with a bigger pole and a bigger sail to make it better. That's the thinking, bigger is better, no. Kite surfing disrupted windsurfing. Smaller, leaner, more nimble board. The kite's in the air, you can fold it up. Ladies can go kite surfing because they can carry the equipment. That opened up the whole industry to ladies who couldn't really windsurf. So I'm going to show a video and then we'll finish it off of windsurfing. And in the same video is kite surfing, and you will see which is better. Kite surfing is riskier, but it is more rewarding. So in my opinion, InsurTech will do to insurance what kite surfing did to windsurfing, what fintech will do to banking, and potentially what cryptocurrency will do to money as we know it. Let's have a look, and hopefully there's audio. If not, that's okay. I can sing a lullaby. Doesn't look like there's audio, but that's okay. We can just
I
watch.
need to submit it. What is my name? Shamina. See, I can give it to me short or private.
Okay, so maybe we'll.
So I'm mute. I was supposed to short or private, but it's fine. I'm there.
Is it this?
No.
So here's the windsurfing. As you can see, he's jumping off the wave. He got about 2 meters off the wave.
Right.
And this is the future. This is kite surfing. More nimble, new age.
So if it's Monday, no, we still got to do the workup. Scenarios. I don't know, I'm still running by Jeanette before I submit it to
Could we switch the sound off, please?
She's on a call.
Bobby, I think that's where you also mentioned previously, this guy's actually running his own production company too.
That's right. So as you can see, he has his own camera on his back,
Yes.
running his own production company. Unbelievable to be able to be so resourceful to get your own footage. Look at that, the camera's on his back. So you need to be an all-in-one type of person these days. Be able to have your sole come off your shoes, get some super glue and fix it yourself. That is the skill set, is to be resourceful and to not have to rely on other people. And yeah. And that is what it's about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adi.